When Lorraine called me a few weeks back and said, would you be able to come for a small function at SPBD? We'll celebrate this US $25 million loan disbursement. I thought for a while and I asked her which date. She said 16th. And I said, I'll be on leave on that day because I'm traveling for this AFI board meeting. But I'll come because the way she told me, it was as if it will be a small get-together with some tea and bara and samosa. And I said, okay, no speeches, no garland. So I agreed because she knew if she would have said the garland, I would have given an apology, and Caroline would be giving this speech right now. So, but first of all, let me thank you for this invitation. I think, to me, what I really want to impress on is this. My interest in microfinance is. My father used to be a small-time fisherman. He used to borrow from the Fiji Development Bank, and I remember, a number of times he'll give me the money to go and repay his loan or make his installment at the Fiji Development Bank bar branch. The fact that he borrowed that money helped him in his livelihood. He was able to go fishing, he owned a boat, and ultimately at that time, education was not free. We all had to pay school fees. We all had to pay bus fare. So that contribution or that borrowing of funds from FDB as a small loan ultimately helped me and my brothers to be educated and where we are today. So, to me, this is personal. The other important thing is that, when I went to university, my roommate for a very long time used to be a Bangladeshi. His father actually used to be the deputy governor of Bangladesh, and so we used to talk about, when we used to talk about economics. Grameen Bank at that time was the institution that everybody used to talk about, and since then we've been following the founder Mohammad Yunus, and he has actually won the Nobel Prize in Peace, and he said a SME bank or a microfinance bank creates economic and social development from below. And to me, those words are very powerful. So what SPBD does, what some of the banks does are very powerful. Once you lend to those at the bottom, you're helping the economy grow from the bottom. And so therefore the $250 million US dollar loan has uplifted so many families in Fiji. I mean, if you've given 19,000 loans to Fiji, 19,000 loans, I mean, we have somebody here today. Ultimately, these loans uplift a lot of people's things. It reduces poverty. The data that we have, in the Reserve Bank, the SME sector overall contributes somewhere around 16 to 18% of Fiji's GDP, and they cut across all sectors. You could be fisherman, could be a taxi owner, could be a small, retail shop, you could be handicraft, you could be a farmer. So the contribution for the MSME sector is quite important. And one of the things that really pleased me is when the new government, had a minister or a deputy prime minister as the portfolio of SME. To me, this just, lifts the profile or the status of SME. The banking sector altogether, including FDB, has given a total loans of just over $1.5 billion to slightly less than 20,000 customers, and that's quite a large amount. So that accounts for just below 20% of total loans portfolio to the private to the SME sector. At the bank, we feel that strongly feel that the SME sector is very important. So during COVID, we created a fund with the assistance of government, whereby we dispersed in excess of $150 million loan to small businesses, where 5,500 people, businesses have benefited, where government pays the interest for the first 2 years. And in the event the loan gets bad, government is going to pay a guarantee to a settled amount. So, coming back to the event today, I think that what SPBD is doing in this region, including Fiji, is something that I value, because it ultimately helps with economic development. It creates employment. It lifts up the people from poverty line. It makes people stand on their own feet. The other important thing is that when people take a loan, it brings about responsibility and accountability. People know they have to repay the loan back. If they are given grants, you take it as free. You don't work that hard. And the last thing I just want to say is that it has always been my dream that one day we will have a specialized financial institution that focuses on this thing. A number of times I've hinted to SPD management and board, why don't you try and go one step up from what you're doing to getting a license to operate more like a bank, or at least a micro bank. And hopefully I'll see that if not in my time as governor, then at least in my lifetime, that you graduate from where you are into a bank. So just finally, I just want to again thank the SPBD board and management for opening the operations in Fiji, helping Fiji develop, and your contribution, I'm sure, is recognized by everybody. Thank you.